rapist. He rapes children. He died alone and a disgrace. The name that you're bearing, Port Harcourt, is the name that is cursed in England because his favorite is little boys. He likes to rape little boys between the ages of 6 and 14. That is the name you're answering, Port Harcourt. These UG black people, as idiotic as ever. A name that is not in England. A name that brings derision. A name that when you mention it in the royal courts in England, people will think you're insane. That is the name you're answering, Port Harcourt. The name of a pedophile. A pedophile, a diseased, a mentally unstable pedophile. That is the name you're answering. Port Harcourt. Rivers. What does it mean in Ogoni language? Nobody knows. What does it mean in Ijaw language? Do you know? What does it mean in Igbo language? Nothing. I hope you're following. Port Harcourt. What is there in a name? You may ask. No wonder they produce one idiotic governor to the other serving the Fulani Janjaweed. Because of the name they have agreed to answer. The name Rivers was given to you by Gowon on the advice of the British. The name of the place is Iguacha, and as soon as Biafra is restored, that will be the name. Iguacha, that is the name. There is Igwenga, Opobo, and Iguacha, which is Port Harcourt. For your information, if you don't know, go and research it. These are Igbo territories. And so shall it be forever and ever. Fulani can try all they like. You can replace one idiotic governor with another. That is the name he's going to bear. Igwenga will be restored, and Iguacha will be restored. That is the name. Wike on Monday charged the 23 local government chairmen and youths in the state to fish out IPOB family members. The idiot doesn't know that the local government chairmen and the youths in the state are also IPOB. He doesn't even know that he himself is an indigenous person of Biafra, making him also IPOB because he wants to impress the Fulani so that Tambuwal can pick him as vice presidential candidate. Chibika Amechi is the Minister of Transport. He faulted Wike's actions when he spoke in Abuja yesterday. He asked the governor to focus on the real problem in Iguacha and leave IPOB alone. Do you know what Chibika Amechi, who is a full-time Fulani servant, said? You know, sometimes they come to their senses. This was the man who only last week said that the so-called South-South and South-East should come together as one. People are coming back to their senses. But instead, Daily Trust, that is a Fulani newspaper, and some ethnic jingoists in Yoruba land, like Femi Falana, and some perennial idiots and slaves in the east, like Nyawood. They ganged up to encourage Nyesom Wike to make a complete and total fool of himself. Let me tell you what Chibika Amechi said in a his own words. It is very funny that Wike has decided to leave his administrative works to arrest and kill innocent people of Obibo in River State. Innocent people of Obibo he is killing in River State. What have Wike done for Obibo people since he took over as governor of River State? A question I would like Wike to answer. The little Hitler. You know, I hate Igbo governors. From Ifeanyi Okowa to Ibazu to Wike. They're all Igbo. Delta, Rivers, Abia, Ebonyi, Imo, Anambra, Enugu, even Cross River. They're all Igbo, IGBO, Makadi Amama, Igbo. But now, this very day, because of the animosity and the venom in the voice and face of Wike, because Wike wants to bring division into our land, the Southeast governors were very hopeless. At least they said they have proscribed IPOB. They never asked anybody to go after their own brothers or their own sisters. What Wike is saying is that a brother can go after a brother, a sister can go after a sister, but meanwhile, Fulani is busy raping, pillaging, and killing our people. Wike, what have you done for Obibo? And you know the funniest thing? A few days ago, when the madman Wike was making the noise that we have now come to expect him to make all the time when he's serving his masters, his Janjaweed masters, he referred to Obibo as Oyibo, O-Y, instead of O-B. And he is an Igbo man. Ikwere people are Igbo people. And they know it. Everybody knows it. But because of abandoned property in Iguacha, because of the same thing that the Fulani did to their own... Oh my God, these people are evil. Fulani came and wanted to divide us, the same thing that Wike is now doing today. Fulani said to Igbo people in Iguacha, take your brother's property from Anambra, from Abia, from Ebonyi, from Enugu, from Delta. Take their properties in Iguacha. Tell them you are not Igbo, that you are Igbo, and we will defend you. We must learn this morning. The people, now listen very carefully please. The person who was instrumental to that abandoned property regime in Iguacha is an Ogoni man. And believe it or not, Ogoni people are not distinct as some of them claim to be. Ogoni is also an Igbo clan, the same way you have Ongwa today. It's how you have Ogoni. They are Igbo people. The same way you have Ongwa as a clan. Ongwa is the biggest clan you have in Biafra land, the biggest Igbo clan. Ongwa started all the way from Montenga. And to Iguacha. To Okwa. Okwa is called Okwangwa. Okwa is Ongwa land. The same way you have what's it called? Ogoni land. Ogoni. And you know the funniest thing? I want to give people the history of the confusion in the so-called River State and the stupidity of some people. Based on what Chibike Amechi said. This history, I kept giving this lecture over the years until people realize that indeed they are Igbo after all. Now listen very carefully. Who created abandoned property? A man called Ken Saro-Wiwa, who is today, he died a freedom fighter, and we commend that. But you know me, I always tell you the truth. It may be very bitter, but it is the truth, and I will preach it. There is something some of you do not know. The person that brought division into our land is Ken Saro-Wiwa. Edwin Clark. Pay attention, please. Ken Saro-Wiwa and Edwin Clark. It is not good to speak ill of the dead, but the truth must be spoken. And Wike is continuing in the footsteps of Ken Saro-Wiwa, and he will meet the same end as Ken Saro-Wiwa if he doesn't take time. I know he's listening. They all listen. And this goes to all the governors of the so-called South, South, and Southeast. You must pay attention. Ken Saro-Wiwa and Edwin Clark brought division into the old Eastern region. Ken Saro-Wiwa was at my alma mater, of course, the finest secondary school in the world in those days, Government College Omai. He was there. So also was Cyprian Ekwensi, so also was Chinua Achebe. So also was the best result in the history of WAEC or GCE in the whole of West Africa. The late Dr. J.O.J. Okezie. J.O.J. Okezie made the best result in the history of WAEC and GCE in the whole of West Africa. Till today, his result has not been broken by anybody. Dr. J.O.J. Okezie from Ibeku, from Obanankata, from my town. All of these brilliant people went to Government College Omaya, including Ken Saro-Wiwa, who also was a very brilliant man, a writer and a poet. He's an artist. And you know me, I have a soft spot for artists. You know, things like somewhere that I love, Reginald Akuchie. If you know him, I grew up with him. Incidentally, he went to Government College Umuahia, and we also went to UNN together, University of Nigeria, Nsukka. People must pay attention this morning. Reginald Akuchie is a better artist than Leonardo da Vinci. He is a better sculptor rather than Botticelli. Reginald Akuchie is the finest artist I have ever seen in my life. I have been to art galleries, I've been to museums, I've seen what others have done. I've seen Rembrandt. I have seen all the beautiful artists you can think of. Reginald Akuchie is a better painter. If you give him the opportunity to paint something like the Sistine Chapel, he will do a better job than Honorati. He went to Government College Omaya. Reginald Akuchie, very, very brilliant artist, but his talent was wasted because he was born in Nigeria. I said he is a better painter than any Italian Renaissance painter you can think of. If you sit down and Reginald Akuchie will paint you, he will paint you, you will be amazed. His talent was wasted. That's by the way. Ken Saro-Wiwa was at my school, Government College Umuahia. He graduated on scholarship given to him by the government of Eastern region. And I hope that the man who gave Ken Saro-Wiwa, or under whose regime Ken Saro-Wiwa's brilliance was recognized, is an Igbo man by the name Dr. Michael Obara. Ken Saro-Wiwa went to school College Umuahia and became a very wonderful man. There is a motto at my school: in unum lucent, which means may we shine as one. Every Umuahian knows that. Case Rewa left and never shone as one because there is something called Mkwangwe in school, in those days. It's only boys' school, and it is a boarding school built by a man called Robert Fisher, apparently a Scottish man. And we are not allowed to go out. If you come into government college, you don't go out. You stay in boarding in your hostels or in your dormitories, and then you go to class and all the rest of it. It was modeled along English public schools, like English grammar schools, the boarding ones, that is. There is a house in government college called Kent House. We have Kent House. We have Simpson House. All white people on the other. I was in Cousin's house. Cousins was the guy that wrote the biology textbook, a white man, Cousins. We had Niger House. We had Wareham House, another white man. To the left of Cousins' house is Wareham House. We had all these white principals and white people all over the place. And also, as time went on, Igbo principals and the Ijaw principals. Now listen very carefully. I want to debunk all this nonsense about Igbo, all this rubbish that Wike is now peddling. Anybody who knows or went to government college, you will know there is a house called Erekosima House. Erekosima is an Ijaw man. There were Igbo principals that came to government college Umuahia. But the only person that they named a house after is an Ijaw man, Erekosima. Are you paying attention? That during the time of Okpara, everything was done to integrate the East. Is there any house in government college Umuahia named after an Igbo man? No. But there was a house named after Erekosima. Erekosima was a principal at government college Umuahia. Ijaw man. And they named the house after him. A house is a dormitory where we stay, Erekosima. And I used to have a dream. When I used to dream in those days, most of my dreams, I was in Cousin's house. Most of my dreams were situated in Erekosima house. And it never occurred to me that anytime I preach this very gospel, Biafra is almost at our doorstep. Erekosima's son died at Government College Umuahia. He was playing cricket. And the cricket, the ball itself hit him on the bad side. In Government College, we played every game. We played cricket, we played every game, just name it in the world. We played it. We played hockey, we played cricket, we played tennis. What is it we didn't play at Government College Umuahia? Everything we played. Not now is like a glorified primary school. Erekosima's son also went to Government College Umuahia, but he died unfortunately because the cricket ball, when they were playing cricket, the cricket hit his scrotum and shattered his testicles, and he died. So after that, they made it compulsory. You must wear a guard to protect your private parts before you go out to play cricket. We played cricket at school. Oh my goodness. Do you know Kesrewa was there? Kesrewa went to Government College Umuahia, came out, became a very successful man. And one day we had a dance, Ongwa, during his time at school. They invited, was it Holy Rosary? Not Holy Rosary here because they were too small for us. We used to go to Ojimbo, where they are the girls that they used to bring to us in those days to dance with. After we have a debate, and after the debate, you dance. As they were dancing, I've forgotten the name of the girls' school that they asked to come. I don't know if it is girls from Stella Maris in Iguacha. No, I don't think so. It was a girls' school, or was it here? I can't remember. A girls' school was invited from Igboland to come to Government College to debate, because we debate. At Omwaya, we speak very good English, of course we do. We debate, and after the debate, then you have a dance afterwards. And all the teachers and the principal, they will leave, and the boys will have fun with the girls, just dancing or nothing more. Do you know that they invited a girls' school to Government College Omwaya for a dance? And Kenserewa went to one of the girls and said to her, "Excuse me, dance, I want to dance with you." And the girl said no. And Kenserewa immediately thought that the girl said no to him because he is not Igbo. I am giving you factual history. I am sure that Kenserewa's son, if the father was somebody who, as my father did, to tell you what happened during their time, must have told the children this story. A girl said no, an Igbo girl said no to dance with him. And Kenserewa muttered to himself because he's Igbo. That's why the Igbo girl did not want to dance with him, because he's Ogoni and the girl is Igbo. Nobody knew that Kenserewa took that thing away and left Government College Omwaya, became a successful man, and was still harboring that hatred for Igbo people that gave him free education. Allowed him to go to the finest secondary school there is. Kenserewa had bitterness in him, and during the war, Kenserewa found an opportunity to revenge, because an Igbo girl refused to dance with him. And he joined the Nigerian army, and he served with Abacha. Abacha became his close friend. After the war, Kenserewa wanted, not only did he join Nigeria to fight Biafra, the bitterness was still lingering in him. He went and convinced Abacha. He convinced Abacha that Igbos should be punished further. Abacha asked him, "What do you want us to do?" Kenserewa told Abacha that all the properties in Iguacha belonging to Igbo people from across Imo River. Listen carefully, because Obi Igbo, the heart of Igbo nation is in Iguacha. Obi Igbo, that is why they neglect it. That is even the reason why we neglected it. You must pay attention this morning, please. I beg of you. He said all those across the water, they must lose their properties in Iguacha, and we are going to give it to local people. Those local people, not minding that they're Igbo people, we are going to tell them that they are different. Me, I'm an Ogoni man. We are going to tell Igbo people that they are not Igbo. And because Igbo people from across the water came to Iguacha and became successful, bought land and built houses, we are going to give those houses to Igbo people. And then we tell Igbo that you're not Igbo. Abacha rang Lagos and asked for approval. The approval was given.
I don't.
Because when that suggestion came and was being discussed in Lagos, you know that the British government, they hear everything that you say. They told the British said, okay, very good. That is how we are going to divide them. That is how we are going to deny the Igbo people access to the sea by making sure that the Igbo people that live by the sea see themselves as non-Igbos. A very simple, very clever plan. Because Iguacha Seaport is there, and that land is owned by Igbo people. Owned, which is Ikwere, of course, owned by Ikwere people.
Sorry, I don't know.
And because of that, in order to deny the wider body of Igbo nation access to the sea, let us tell those that live by the sea that they're not Igbo. They did the same thing in Opobo.
Nah, guy, this one about first.
And the British said to go on, you can go ahead. It's a very beautiful plan. It's a very good plan. So they can divide us.
My name is Tan.
So the go-ahead came.
Wow.
And Abacha, who was a very good friend of Council, we were said to Council, well, you can go ahead and implement this. It's fine. It's a very good idea.
My name is Tan.
Now, but in order to make it work, since it is your idea, you are now going to oversee the whole abandoned property project. Council spent days and nights touring every community in Iguacha, telling them how they are not Igbo, how Igbo people came and dominated their lives and took over their land and built houses. But meanwhile, he's Ogonio, he's not Igbo, he's not Igbo. He says he's not Igbo. Meanwhile, he doesn't speak Igbo language. The people in Iguacha, they speak Igbo language. They answer Chibike Amechi, which is Igbo. They answer Nyesom Wike, which is Igbo. They answer Odele, which is Igbo. And you know what they call God in Iguacha? Chukwukikabiama.
Yes.
Ikwere call God Chukwukikabiama. I heard it myself. Nobody told me. I was traveling through that area. They told me themselves. Nobody told me. You must pay attention this morning.
Where do you know me from?
They said because wherever a people who are successful are gathered, there's always envy. Ikwere said, okay, from today onwards, we are from Ikwere. We are from Bini. And the Oba of Bini is our brother. We are not Ikwere people. We are not Igbo. Although we speak Igbo, we are Igbo speaking, but we are Ikwere. Yoruba speaking, but I'm not Yoruba. Does that make sense to you? Councillor Wiwa presided over abandoned property. He was the one, despite benefiting from a scholarship granted to him by an Igbo man, despite going to a very beautiful school in Igbo land, because he could have gone to Okrika Grammar School, he could have gone to Stella Maris in Iguacha, he could have gone to one of those beautiful schools that you had, but he got a scholarship to attend Government College, you know why? Fisher High School. For free. He now came back to wreak revenge because a girl refused to dance with him. Are you listening?
Like money?
Now, you know Igbo man, something happens in the north. You know, there's a riot now in the north. And there are two Igbo businessmen. One of them had his house destroyed, his cars burnt, and maybe a part of his business still surviving. He is desperate for cash. The other businessman who is Igbo will come to him and not offer to give him a loan to rebuild his business, but will tell him, please, I want to buy you out. So it is in us. The Igbo people accepted and took over all the properties belonging to their own flesh and blood from across the Imo River. That's all. If you are on this side of the Imo River, in Obibo side, they let you keep your property. If you're from Ongwa, going all the way to Hamufu, or to Gekem, you lose your property to your own brother in Iguacha that they named Port Harcourt. That was Councillor Uwa's plan which the British endorsed, which Gowon executed. And in Lagos, they tried the same thing in some places. As you may recall, when our leader came back, he was fighting for his father's house at Queen's Drive in Ikoyi. I think he got it back eventually. Some people in Yoruba land wanted to play smart. They said, okay, if they're taking their properties in Port Harcourt, we must also take their properties in Lagos. But I want to shock all of you this morning. In the north, where there were predominantly Hausa people, there was no abandoned property. After the war, Igbo people went back to the north, and the Hausa people gave them back the keys to their houses. I want you to pay attention. But in Biafra land, in Igbo land, a particular section of Igbo people, a clan, Ikwe is a clan, the same way Ngwa is a clan, and Ngwa is bigger than Ikwe, the same way that Ogoni is a clan. One clan in Igbo land decided to jettison their identity because of their brother's property. But in Hausa land in the north, Hausa people, because Fulani was busy moving cattle in the bush, Hausa people gave back the keys to Igbo properties back to the owners when they came back after the war. Now the divide and rule has set in. Ken Sarawa was working with Abacha. Very, very well. The same thing now that Wike is doing. Another Ijaw man came into power. I will call him even an Igbo man, because his name is Melford Okilo. Or is it Okiro? Is it Melford? Let me get his full correct name. The MPN governor. They said they will vote MP and they will not vote for Zeke. All of those, I call them the Gowon created states. You know, Lugard created Nigeria. People that call themselves Nigeria were created by Gowon. The people created by Gowon. Oh dear me. Things are happening. There are so many things you people don't know about the zoo. The reason why we are suffering today was because an Igbo girl refused to dance with Kesewiwa. That is why we are saying this rubbish today. That is the genesis of the problem. After all, the man that knew history and told Ojukwu about our name, Biafra, is an Ijaw man, Ijaw, the same place with the bloated pig, the same place with the Antiobricks, the same place with Edwin Clark. The man who said our name is Biafra is not an Igbo man. He's an Ijaw man, Ijaw. This morning, all of you must pay attention. I don't even know why I'm preaching this very gospel, but I was moved to preach it. That I should preach it. Because of Wike, I want our people to get to the root of the problem. Because of Jason Wike, I want our people to be educated this morning. Education. You all must listen carefully, please. The same man that I told you gave me money when I went to his house in London, the former governor of River State, his name is Melford Okilo. Melford Okilo. Now listen very carefully. Melford Okilo and Okiro, the former IG of police, are all Igbo people. I want them to understand this. And I also want you to know, when I told you about Orochukwu and slavery the other day, I want you to know that most of the people who are Ijaw today, Ijaw, is either your grandfather or your grandmother is from Orochukwu. If you doubt me, go and ask the pig in the creek. Do you have Orochukwu Ask Ankyo Brits. Ankyo Brits, do you have Arochukwu blood in you or not? Because you were all sired by our people, captured and taken to the new world as slaves from Arochukwu. Am I lying? Ankyo Brits, do you have Arochukwu blood in you or not? Yes, you are the pig in the creek. Do you have Arochukwu blood in you or not? So when people are telling you rubbish, he's done this, he's on this, I am asking them, you people you were giving birth to by people from Arochukwu, am I lying or not? Yes or no? I want you, some of you with Ankyo Briggs number, go to her page this morning and inbox her. Please, ma'am, do you be respectful, please? Please, ma'am, ma'am is M-A-A-M. Do you have Arochukwu blood in you? Please answer me yes or no. Some of you that read the nonsense from the imbecilic pig in the creek, ask him a simple question. Do you have Arochukwu blood in you or not? Go and ask Edwin Clark. Edwin Clark, do you have Arochukwu blood in you or not? These are simple questions, though not difficult. Ask them this morning, and you hear what they will tell you. You'll be shocked. These people they are carrying Arochukwu blood in them. Arochukwu, our spiritual capital, Arochukwu blood is in them. But when you see them talk their nonsense, you pity them. Who made it possible? Another Igbo man, Ken Saruwiwa, Ogoni. Ogoni is a clan in Igbo land. You know, we like being autonomous. People may be saying, but why did they say they're not Igbo? Look at my place. I come from a family. My father was a traditional ruler of our family. After a while, Oko Bandungoke said they want to answer Enyugu. They want to be autonomous. My father said, okay, no problem, you can go. Before that, the first son of Afaruku is Okulaga. Okulaga is number one. They are the first son of Afaruku, which is the next village, or should I say hamlet, to mine. Okulaga said, we want to be autonomous. And today, Okulaga is an autonomous community inside Afaruku. Maybe in the future, Isiama will also become an autonomous community in Afaruku. Autonomous means leave me alone. The same way that Ogoni is an autonomous clan in Igbo land. Are you listening to me? Somebody who is an Igbo man decided to be autonomous because a girl refused to dance with him. And he took that bitterness to corrupt and poison the minds of other people, like the Ikwere people, to hate themselves. And they think they are going to enjoy life. Of course not. You don't know God in heaven. No, you can't enjoy. They took their brother's properties in Iguacha. Chief Zetsiobi, one of the richest men you had in those days in Iguacha. My own grand uncle, Dudukoro, Chief Alozie. Who doesn't know him? Chief Alozie owns from Obibo to oil mill on the right. He owns it. Chief Alozie. Who doesn't know him? In Iguacha. Oh dear. Chief Zetsiobi's properties were taken. My uncle's properties were taken. These are one of the richest people that you had. My uncle De Jacob studied in America. When he was traveling from Omoaya railway station, he traveled because he went by ship. He traveled from Omoaya. De Jacob traveled, Jacob Alozie traveled from Omoaya railway station in Ibeku all the way to Iguacha to board a ship to go to the US to study. His father Chief Alozie hired one coach for him, an entire train, an entire coach. Only the Jacob was in it with his servants. All the way to Iguacha. When he came back, one day Jacob came back, women removed their wrappers and laid it on the ground for the Jacob to walk from railway all the way to my compound. Chief Alozie, his properties were taken. Those belonging to prominent men like Chief Zetsuobi were also taken in Iguacha, and most of them died because of it. Do you know what Dalozie used to say? Chief Alozie used to say when he because he was going to court to try to recover his properties. He said if his properties were taken by Hausa people, he would understand. But he cannot believe that people that took his properties are those that answer Ikoku. And his own brother, Dikoku, just lives across from him. People that answer Igbo names in Ikwere land took properties belonging to their fellow brothers. Are you listening? I want to tell you where Nwike is coming from. Ken Sarawiwa did all of these things, and Ogoni land was not developed. You know, God is miraculous. That is why they are suffering today. Ogoni land is suffering today because of the betrayal that was brought into our land by Ken Sarawiwa. God is a God of vengeance. And Ogoni land can never be developed unless Biafra comes. They can never. Ogoni can never see development until Biafra comes. Never. After that, after many years, Ken Sarawiwa now discovered. Let me take water, please. After many years, Ken Sarawiwa discovered the grand plan of the Fulani. I want to tell you how miraculous God is. Under the regime of his good friend Sani Abacha, he started the agitation, the Ogoni Bill of Rights. Abacha called him on the phone. I said, my friend, what are you doing? He said, Ogoni land is not developed. We are marginalized. We are backwards. Abacha said, okay, and put the phone down and ordered for his arrest. He was arrested in Iguacha, put in prison, and tried. Before he was executed, he said he wants to speak to his friend Abacha again. He called Abacha. You know what Abacha said to him? You are fighting me in my administration the same way you fought your brothers, the Igbos. You want to betray me the same way you betrayed the Igbos, but I will teach you a lesson. I will tell you I am not the Igbo people that you betrayed. Abacha gave the order and Ken Sarawiwa was hanged. Ask anybody if they keep records of telephone conversations between a president or head of state in Nigeria and people, you will see it there. We have all the information. Ken Sarawiwa was broken. Abacha said to him, you betrayed your people. I am your friend. I am the head of state, and you want to betray me, and for that I am going to kill you. And Abacha killed him. Because he betrayed his people. You think the Fulanis are not smart? Or the Janjaweed from the north, you think they are not smart? Once you did that's why they can never give him anything. They know he betrayed his people. It was the person that gave the go-ahead for abandoned property to be seized or to come into existence, so to speak. The person that Ken Sarawiwa went to and said, my friend, let us take properties from Igbo people in Igbo land. You know, it's an abomination. Before God is an abomination. Go and read your Bible, Old Testament. An abomination before God.